Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today. We're talking here about WWE's Hell in the Cell 2018 show. Another big match added to the card. Brie Bella teaming up with her husband Daniel Bryan, going up against Maryse and Miz. This is the second time we've seen the tag team of Maryse and Miz. The last time, of course, was at WrestleMania, going up against John Cena and Nikki Bella. Maryse, always one of my favorite wrestlers during that whole Divas era that went down. I honestly always thought she was a really good worker. I know that she's in a different place in her career right now. Going into that WrestleMania match, I really wasn't expecting a whole lot from her. Now here she is coming back from after having a baby. I know that, Miz and Maryse play up this whole thing from Total Divas, as well as from their own reality show, that Maryse was a big part of the WWE Women's Revolution. How she was the Divas champion, and she was going out there and having 2 or 3 minute matches on Monday Night Raw, trying to make her championship reign mean something. I loved the hair flip. I loved that when she would pin people, she would, sort of use that hair to her advantage, sort of draping it down in their face, almost as that last minute insult during their match. I always really liked her, and I think it's going to be fun having her around, even if she is not a real full-time part of the roster, for her to be brought up and sort of used, even if it is just like once a year to mean something, even if, they can't really think of another place to use her. If, they were to team up against Lana and Rusev, or if they were to team up, against what I called the main event of SmackDown, the whole Cien Almas team. I think that would be really fun if they find some way to use them like that. But it's hard to talk about the WWE Hell in the Cell match with Miz and Maryse and Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella without talking about the fact they've already announced that they're going to have a singles match at the Super Showdown in Australia. That match is probably going to mean more than this tag match, other than bragging rights, I guess you can say, because that match is going to be a #1 contenders match. So in the long run, that match is going to mean more to WWE than this is. But the whole Daniel Bryan versus Miz thing, they want to squeeze as much juice out of that as they can, because of the fact that, in WWE Universe talk, Miz is pretty much the reason why Daniel Bryan returned to wrestling, because, Miz kept poking the bear, basically using it to his advantage, that, he could say whatever he wanted to Daniel Bryan, and Bryan wasn't able to actually react back. And at SummerSlam, I think that even though Daniel Bryan lost the match, the fact that he was able to punch Miz in the face, it was all worth it for that comeback. Brie Bella, fun to see her return back to the ring, since I guess the Royal Rumble was the last time we saw her, and the time before that, I can't even really remember the last time she was around, other than, I guess, maybe that match against Natalya during Daniel Bryan's retirement thing, which would have been like 2 years ago, where she basically stepped away to get herself ready to become a mom. So having her back, I don't know why Brie Bella is like the new Chris Jericho of the WWE brand split. If you go back to like 2009, when all of a sudden Jericho was just able to appear on both shows. He would appear on Raw as a tag team with Big Show, and he would appear on SmackDown as a singles guy. So every once in a while, Vince is gonna look at the rules and just say, "Fuck it, we're gonna do whatever we want to do." The Bellas, they're pumping up the whole Divas Revolution, the Divas Evolution show, and Brie and the Bellas are a big part of it. So put them on Monday Night Raw, and we'll figure it out later. And I think when it comes down to it, I think Nikki is on SmackDown as well. I don't think she was ever drafted over to Raw, so I don't know how they'll figure out talking about that, but they got a match coming up on Raw to hype up the Evolution show coming up. So this is going to be a fun one. I think that honestly, when it comes down to the match that really means something, we got to look at the Super Showdown. That one's going to be for #1 contenders match. I'm not sure who to pick in this one. I guess I would pick Miz and Maryse to get the win here, because I think at Super Showdown, I think Bryan's going to get the win there. So that one's going to be a hard one to talk about till this one plays out. But this match doesn't really mean anything. It's just to get us to that next one, even though that Super Showdown show in the long run is going to be a lot like that whole Saudi Arabia show, which is going to be a big show that makes you want to subscribe to the WWE Network, and you're glad that you got it. But, when it comes down to it, I don't think anything's really going to happen. But it's going to be fun to either see Miz or Bryan go after that championship, because we've been looking for it for a long time for both of those guys.